Introducing the African Diaspora News Channel app, your gateway to stories that's overlooked by the corporate mainstream media.
And we serve as the voice to the Chubal Black community.
Again, we got Dr. Candace Matthews.
A lot of these documents, looking at.
We are committed to informing and educating through the power of media.
This country is supposed to be about the land of the free for all. It has not been free for Black people, and we are tired.
With our platform, we're helping to end injustice by exposing it.
Join us in standing for excellence in journalism and serving our community. Download the African Diaspora News app today.
Hello everyone, my name is Naledi Mfoloe and it is my absolute pleasure to welcome you to the latest edition of the African Diaspora News channel, where we unravel the stories that shape our world and our communities. Today we dive deep into the currents of information, from the pulse of politics to the heartbeat of entertainment. We've got it all covered, so please stay tuned for a news experience like no other. Now today we look into an issue that continues to haunt South Africa, and that is the barrier to self-emancipation of Black South Africans in post-apartheid era. Now, as South Africans, we often hear people say, you guys are the majority and they are the minority. How are they controlling everything? Well, I say let's start with this, right? Mental poverty, moral poverty, and economic poverty. These are three fundamental barriers that actually emphasize the ongoing struggle for true equality and empowerment in our nation, which is still bearing the scars of apartheid till this day. Now, let's start with mental poverty. Now, decades of systematic oppression have actually left psychological wounds. We cannot ignore that the apartheid regime's racist social engineering actually created a low sense of self-worth amongst the oppressed, convincing them of their supposed inferiority. Now, this engineered mental state makes it easier for individuals to actually accept domination and perpetuate harmful stereotypes. Mental poverty manifests as learned helplessness, and years of brainwashing and programming have actually persuaded many Black South Africans that they are inherently lesser. Now, addressing this issue, I think it actually requires a paradigm shift. A renewal in thinking that actually begins with education and awareness to actually enable individuals to reclaim their identities and self-worth. Next, we move to moral poverty. Now, this is a lack of moral courage to actually stand against injustice and defend what is right. Now, this is glaringly evident in the behavior of our parliamentarians, where Black politicians prioritize self-interest over their citizens' interests. Now, Parliament, ideally, which is the projection of the people's will, most of the Black leaders must recognize that as long as they are morally impoverished, they will never eradicate the material poverty affecting their communities. True leadership requires integrity, bravery, and an unwavering commitment to actually combat justice. Now, when leaders defend the indefensible, they actually betray the trust of citizens who elected them. And I think that we need leaders who are willing to challenge the status quo, willing to sacrifice personal gain for greater good. The fight against moral poverty is the fight for the soul of our democracy. Now, finally, we confront the economic poverty, right? Now, this is probably the most visible legacy of apartheid. Racially engineered economic exclusion has actually left Black South Africans disproportionately impoverished with limited access to land, and economic opportunities. The October 2022 World Bank report actually describes South Africa as one of the most unequal society globally, where a tiny fraction of the population controls the vast majority of the wealth, which is absolutely insane, right? And economic apartheid actually remains a harsh reality, with the land issue at its very core. Now, addressing economic poverty actually requires a bold political action and legislative reforms that ensure equitable land distribution and access to opportunity. It's about dismantling the structures of economic exclusion that have persisted for decades, ensuring that all South Africans can participate in the benefit from the economy. Now, 30 years of democracy coupled with inequality actually reveals a critical need for decisive action. The journey towards true liberation is ongoing and requires a collective effort to actually overcome mental, moral, and economic barriers. The former and current oppressors lack the appetite to liberate. And I think that we can't be blind to the fact that the former and current oppressors actually lack the appetite to liberate. It falls upon Black South Africans to actually champion their own cause, eliminating self-hate and striving towards total emancipation is actually essential for the true progress. And of course, the unholy marriage between the ANC and the DA is the current government of national unity actually raises pressing questions about the commitment to economic justice and equitable land distribution. I think that this coalition's effectiveness is in addressing the fundamental issues facing Black South Africans remains uncertain. It is crucial that this alliance does not erode the progress needed to achieve the true equality and justice needed in South Africa. Now, as the struggle for justice and equality continues, I think it's imperative that Black South Africans draw inspiration from their rich cultural heritage and continue to push towards total liberation. We need to consistently confront these injustices. Now, with that being said, we want to hear from you. Let's engage in the comment section, shall we? And while you're at it, please give this video a thumbs up. That's it from me. Till we meet again, it is